Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 33 of the regular season. Astros lose 8-4 against the Toronto Blue Jays. And there's one guy to really blame for this, and it is Dusty Baker, specifically, with a couple of really bad managerial decisions. Anyway, on to the game. Christian Javier gets the start, and he was horrific in the game. There is no nice way to say it. He would allow 5 runs in the first 3 innings. That's bad. That's dare I say, near unwinnable bad. First 2 came on a Cavan Biggio home run to make it 2-0 in the second. The next one would come on a Danny Jensen, who apparently is our daddy, to make it 3-0 in the third. And then a 2-run double by Randall Grichuk would make it 5-0 very early on in this game. Now, in the fourth, Yordan Alvarez, being Yordan Alvarez, who's pretty good at this thing we call baseball, would hit a 2-run home run into the Crawford boxes. And I want to point out, he barely tapped that ball, and it got to the Crawford boxes. Like, if he can really start going the opposite way, oh my gosh, if Yordan can start utilizing the Crawford boxes, oh my gosh, that just excites me as a baseball fan, specifically as an Astros fan. And that would make it a 5-2 game, so we're starting to, maybe make a comeback here. And then Yordan Alvarez again in the fifth to make it a 5-3 game with an RBI single to score Alex Bregman. And I'm thinking, hey, we could tie it up. We're making a comeback here. That's all you can hope for. Yordan Alvarez might be the hottest hitter on planet Earth right now. The guy is insane. If you looked, I don't love the statistic of RBIs. Like, I don't only go off of that. But I think it's kind of insane to look at how much faster he got to 100 RBIs next to other players. Because the second fastest was Correa, and he beat him in like 32 games, which is mind-blowing. So now it's a 5-3 ball game. Then in the eighth, Yuli Gurriel, ground out, but a productive one, because Alex Bregman would score to make it a 1-run ball game. So it's really tight going into the ninth. The Astros, at this point, might have a chance to tie it and maybe even walk it off in the ninth. However, because we don't live in that world, that's not what happened, is it? No. So Brooks Raley comes in, which isn't great. Walks Cavan Biggio to lead off. Then, Lourdes Gurriel reaches on an error. Now, I don't know who got the error. I don't know. I can check, actually. It was Gurriel that got the error. Okay. That's a little bit of a strange one. I feel like that should have went to Bregman, personally. So Yuli gets the error. And now you got runners on first and second, no outs. That is not a good thing. Then, you get an out. And this is the point where the game, you lose me as a fan and as a person who studies sports. Runners on second and third, 1 out. You have Brooks Raley in, which, first off, why would you bring Brooks Raley in? Just out of curiosity. Guy who has a 9+ ERA going into the game, and you bring him in a 1-run game. So I don't love that decision. So you have him in, then you take him out. It's a 1-run ball game, second and third, 1 out. And you have the choice between 2 guys, maybe even 3, really. You could bring in Presley, who's been fantastic this season. You could bring in my preferred pick, Ryan Stanek, who this season is a strikeout monster. Easily the best relief pitcher beside Presley in the pen, and is well rested. That's the obvious choice here. I don't get why that isn't just automatic. But instead, you'd bring in the wild card, which is Joe Smith. I don't understand how you could possibly do this. Why would you bring in Joe Smith? Why? Why Joe Smith? A guy who has been a dumpster fire this season, who pitched last night and hasn't been able to strike out anybody. You bring him in, get to the first batter out, but then the next guy, what do you know? 3-run shot into the Crawford boxes to make it a 8-4 game. And it's pretty much out of reach at that point. Now, the Astros did a few things wrong tonight. Christian Javier pitched pretty bad, I thought, for the first while, obviously. Runners with scoring position, our batting average was 2 for 9. That's not great. That could be better. However, this was such a glaring flaw. And by the way, the defense has been starting to get really concerning. I didn't think this was anything really bad, but, that helps a guy get on. But the fact that Dusty Baker brought in Brooks Raley to start the inning, who I'm pretty sure went yesterday, and then you bring in Joe Smith to relieve him, this isn't 2019 Joe Smith. This isn't even 2018 Joe Smith. This is a new Joe Smith that we've never seen before. Because, yes, he is that bad. And you bring him in to relieve Brooks Raley. Why are you bringing any of those guys in a one-run game? Those need to be your, someone's got to pitch these innings pitchers. Don't bring these guys in for important games like this that are close, that you could conceivably win. That just felt like you were punting on the game. And look, I like Dusty Baker. I really do. He seems like he's a cool guy. He's got neat stories. He's got neat analogies. He seems like the cool grandpa, the guy that would give out the king-size candy bars at Halloween. Give the grandkids 5s instead of 1s. The real cool dude. That being said, he can't manage a game anymore. This was just a bad move. There were a few of these. I thought we let Javier stay in too long. At the 5-0 point, I would have pulled him. You might say, well, Weston, it went fine from there. And I would say, yes, however, maybe you didn't know that at the time. Logic tells you when it's 5-0 in the third, you pull the guy. After that, he brought in a couple of relievers as we were starting to tighten it up that just felt like we were punting. Andre Scrub, who's been really, really hit or miss so far. And then in the 9th, going to Brooks Raley just feels like you're punting on it. And then to relieve him when you're in do or die time, you bring in Joe Smith. I don't like those moves. And you're in this weird position right now with the Astros, with Dusty Baker, where what do you do? The Astros, this is one of their last seasons, and I'm not trying to be negative, one of their last seasons where they can really, really look to compete. Because this offseason, there is a ton of guys that are going to want to get paid or that are hitting free agency. You're going to have Greinke hit free agency. You're going to have Correa hit free agency. Granted, Verlander hasn't been there, but he is going to hit free agency and probably leave, if I had to guess. It sucks, but probably head out. A few bullpen arms, if I'm not mistaken. I think Ryan Presley is one of them that's up for free agency now, which, he's happening to turn back into the good Ryan Presley again. So this is a season where you kind of need to compete because you're going to lose a big chunk of your core. And then obviously the elephant in the room, Correa, I might have already mentioned him. But, that's a big noteworthy thing. Along with that, you're also taking another year on your locked up stars like Jose Altuve, like Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez will take another year on the clock for his rookie contract. So this is an important year to compete. And do you keep Dusty Baker and just hope that the talent outweighs poor managerial decisions? Or do you fire him and give the job to Joe Espada, which is what I thought we should have done back in 2020, back when the job became available? I don't know why we didn't automatically give it to Espada. And to be honest, at this point in time, with decisions like this, I don't know how you couldn't just say, Dusty, look, man, no hard feelings, but this is not it. And give this position to Espada. In my eyes, that's what we have to do right now. This is getting to the point where it's hard to watch. These decisions make no sense. And I'm not just trying to crap on the guy, but this is odd. And this is a very important season for the Astros moving forward. This was a rough night for the Astros. So pitching lines. Try to get back on track somewhat. Christian Javier went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 2 homers. Not good. Andre Scrub, 1 2/3, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. He actually had a pretty nice night. Brian Abreu, 1 inning of work, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Brooks Raley, no hits, 2 runs. Neither of them were earned, however. A walk, no strikeouts. And Joe Smith, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, strikeout. The 1 run was a home run. Final thoughts, I thought Javier was bad. I think he kind of started to get under control, but it was a really rough start for him. Andre Scrub looks like he might be starting to come out of it, which is very good news, because if you could have him be the the weird FIP wizard like he was last year, that'd be great. And the offense, well, I didn't think it was great or anything. Jordan had an unreal night. 2 hits, 3 RBIs, a run. Bregman was really good. 3 hits and 2 runs scored. Altuve had a pair of hits. So that's all really good to have the top part of your order, come alive. However, if you look at the bottom part of the order, Correa, Tucker, Straw, and Maldonado combined for 1 hit, which is bad. So this was sort of a rough night. Now, tomorrow is Mother's Day. Greinke will be on the mound. Game starts at 2:10. Hopefully you can grab that game to win the series. That'd be great. And that's really all I have to say for this game. It was rough, and I thought it was winnable until it wasn't in the 9th with that bad decision by Baker. So that's all I have to say. I'll be here back tomorrow. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Astros.